Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the crazy train of frauditing for another new video. Now, today, this is going to be an update on my video about East Coast audits last week, Mr. Nicholas Ralph Francis Conley and his extensive criminal history. So East Coast Audit got so butthurt over the last video, he also privacy struck my video on him. Well, actually, he was first, and then Press NH Now slash I Love Auditors, Mr. Mark Mansion, he did me second. But as a matter of fact, East Coast Audits, when he placed his privacy strike on me, he did it within 1 hour of me posting the first video on him. You believe that? He must monitor his channel pretty closely. Now, he's another fraud that complains about the feelings police. But when he gets butthurt over being exposed, he runs to YouTube trying to use them as the feelings police. What a punk move from a tiny little bitch. That's my opinion of you, Nicky boy. You know, it's your past. You can't escape it. It's all public knowledge. You can't call it a privacy strike if I don't put anything private about you in my video. So, I used all public resources to gather the information on East Coast audits, and there was no private information on that video at all. I'm sure you folks all agree with me. Now, I made sure to leave out your addresses and your cell phone number and your private email addresses there, Nikki. I just want to expose you. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, I did expose you, but, you just exposed yourself as the bitch ass hypocrite that you are. And you won't even answer my emails I've sent to you. Hey, what the hell? Come on, dude. So, what I've decided to do is repost East Coast Audit's extensive criminal history so he can see it one more time and get all butthurt again that he's exposed for the career criminal that he is. I don't even care if the video only gets 500 views because it's the same thing as the first video. I really don't. This is only because he privacy struck my channel when there was absolutely no private information about him in the previous video. So without further ado, here is the extensive criminal history of East Coast Audit's Nicholas Conley. All right, folks, we're not going to do any music today. We're not going to do any frauditor video arrests. We're going to just get straight into this like we did with Mr. Mark Mansion on the update video on him. So, we're going to start out with East Coast Audit's 14 vehicle and traffic tickets, which we aren't really too concerned about, but it does show a lawless behavior on his part. Now, how many of you out there have 14 tickets in your driving history? So let's dive right into his long and extensive criminal history of 27 arrests with 69 charges and at least 22 convictions. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, East Coast Audit's criminal history goes back to March of 1999, 24 years ago, when he was arrested for minor in possession of alcohol, under 21 he must have been, from Volusia County, Florida, and he pled nola contendere and got a $115 fine. Now, just the following month, about 5 weeks later, it looks like, on April 22nd, 1999, he was arrested for minor in possession of alcohol, under 21, also out of Volusia County. He was found guilty and given the same $115 fine. Actually, this next one, 12/30/2000, should have went under his vehicle and traffic. I'm sorry about that, folks, but it says here he had tags that were obscured or defaced or improperly displayed. I couldn't find the county on that charge. He was found guilty on 1/30/2001, and I couldn't find a disposition either. Now, the next charge is his third underage possession of alcohol by a person under 21. This one was out of Orange County. He pleaded nola contendere. His adjudication was withheld. He actually was given probation time, but that was withheld, and he was given a $266 fine at that time. So the next charge he has was 1 day later, when he was charged on January 2nd, 2001, for 2 counts of controlled substance offense, which were felonies. And I can't find any disposition for that case. And here is the case number right after it, and that was out of Orange County, Florida. He must have been out on bail or something because less than a month later, or over a month later, on February 18th, 2001, he was arrested for petty larceny out of Orange County, Florida. He pled nola contendere. Adjudication was withheld again, and he paid a $266 fine. Now, on July 17th, 2001, he was charged with 7 counts of burglary, all of them felonies, and I can't tell, but it almost looks like he was adjudicated guilty. He pled nola contendere, and then they adjudicated him guilty. And the only thing I can find is he got a $161 court cost fee and a $200 fine. Now I find that really hard to believe, but we are talking about 2001. The next charge was, almost a year later, almost a year later, June 15th, 2002. He was charged with criminal mischief, more than $200, less than $1,000. He had 2 charges for that. They were both felonies out of Orange County, Florida. He pled nola contendere, and his adjudication was withheld once again. The burglary or attempt, no assault, unarmed, unoccupied conveyance out of Orange County on the same date. There's also no disposition for that. And you wonder why criminals do the crimes that they do. Because look at this: adjudication withheld, adjudicated guilty but no jail time, adjudication withheld on a petty larceny, adjudication withheld on possession of alcohol. I mean, they just keep letting the guy go on all his charges. So now we're going to go ahead one whole day to June 16th, 2002. And he was charged with 3 counts of petty larceny, and for some reason they were a felony, according to the system. That was out of Orange County, Florida. And I could find no disposition on it. There's a case number. If you could find a disposition, I would appreciate it. And now we go ahead to December 5th, 2002. He was charged with uttering a forged instrument, which was a felony. That was in Orange County. He was actually, the crime occurred on 12/5/02. He was charged on March 13th, 2003. And on June 4th, 2003, he was found guilty. Adjudication withheld once again, and he was ordered to pay $270 in court costs. Yeah, Florida's real tough on crime, aren't they there? So on December 6th, a whole day later, he was charged with 3 counts of theft that were felonies. Now, he pled guilty, and the only thing I can find is that he paid a $270 fine. Isn't that just interesting? And we go ahead, not even a month, he was charged on 12/30/02 for constructive possession of a controlled substance out of Orange County, Florida. And I can't find anything on that charge. I don't know if it got dropped or just kind of fell by the wayside or fell through the cracks or what happened there, folks. So we go ahead, about 14 months, and in February 6th of 2004, he was arrested for forgery, unauthorized act in writing, which is a statutory offense in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. He pled guilty on that charge, and I cannot find a disposition. Now, the forgery, unauthorized act in writing charge, no, wait a minute. I got messed up on my charges here. So, forgery, unauthorized act in writing is a statutory offense. Attempted forgery, unauthorized act in writing was a statutory offense. Acquire or obtain possession of controlled substance. I'm not sure what the MSRE stands for, but that was a felony. And then we have pharmacy not licensed, a misdemeanor, or pharmacist not licensed, a misdemeanor. This had to do with him forging prescriptions, trying to get drugs in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. He was found guilty, and the first time he saw jail, he got a whole 10 days of jail. So now the next charge he's got is from 2006. So we went ahead 2.5 years before he got in trouble again. He was arrested for harassment, subject another to physical contact times two. That's a statutory offense in Pennsylvania, and that is out of Allegheny County. He pled guilty, and I can't find a disposition on that. The simple assault charge he had, that was withdrawn because he pled guilty to the harassment charge. And then he got a disorderly conduct engaged in fighting, which is a statutory offense in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. He pled guilty, and he got an unknown disposition on that charge. We go ahead to 12/21/06, 4 months later, and he got a charge for receiving stolen property in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, which was withdrawn. He had a charge of public drunkenness, a statutory offense, disorderly conduct, hazardous physical offense, which was a statutory offense, and use or possess drug paraphernalia, which was a misdemeanor. All of those out of Allegheny County, Florida, or Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, folks. I seem to be rushing here, don't I? There was no disposition on that case. The only thing that was under the disposition was case transferred. That could mean anything. Maybe it went to a drug court, or maybe it went to kind of court where, if you behave yourself for a little while, they'll leave you alone. So now if we go ahead to March 2nd, 2009, I mean, we're talking almost 3 years. And then he got in trouble for retail theft, taking merchandise times three. All of these charges are going to be out of Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. He got 3 charges of that. They're all misdemeanors. Simple assault, which was a misdemeanor. Theft by unlawful taking or removable property. And then access a device used to obtain or attempt to obtain property or service, which is those locks and things that they used to lock coats up with on the stands. So he was found guilty of that charge. He was given a whole 9 months probation, and that charge actually didn't come about until May 1st, 2009. They must have had to do some kind of investigation, and then it was 7 months before he was actually found guilty of it back, and it looks like on 1/21/2010. All right, we're going to jump ahead now to 2/26/09. He got arrested for theft by taking, theft by unlawful taking, movable property, they call it. I'm not sure what that is. That's a misdemeanor out of Allegheny. And then again, another one, access device used to obtain the property. Another charge on all that. That's a misdemeanor also out of Allegheny. He pled guilty on July 8th, 2009, and there's no disposition that I could find. Now he look at this, almost 4.5 years before his next crime, unless he was in a different county or a different state somewhere, and got in trouble. I couldn't find any. Maybe, he tried to mend his ways there for a little bit. And then on July 5th, 2013, he got arrested for propel missile into an occupied vehicle, which was a misdemeanor. All these charges are going to be out of Allegheny County, Pennsylvania again, which is Pittsburgh area. He got another charge for propulsion of missiles onto the roadway times 2, which was a misdemeanor. He was charged with criminal mischief, which was a misdemeanor, and he was charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Not sure what the /grading means. But they were both misdemeanors. He pled nola contendere, and he was given 2 years probation. Now we're going to move ahead to almost 7-8 months. We got a terroristic threats with intent to terrorize another, which was a misdemeanor charge out of Allegheny County, Florida. He pled guilty, and there was no further penalty than what I'm going to read down below here. He was found guilty of he pled guilty, to receiving stolen property, a misdemeanor. No further penalty than what I'm going to read down below. He was arrested for retail theft, alter label or price marking. That was a felony. He pled guilty to retail theft, taking merchandise, and found guilty of that, and he was given 5 years probation. Now, he must have drove away from the crime or something, because he got a DUI, which is driving under the influence. The highest rate of alcohol BAC he had was 0.16. It was his first offense for DUI, so it was a misdemeanor. He pled guilty, got 3 days in jail and a 6 months probation. So I don't know if that runs concurrent with the other one or not. It did not say. Maybe he got 5.5 years probation out of all that. So now we go ahead and we're into March 15th, 2014, charged again with retail theft. This guy's just a thief. He's a thief and a drug addict. So, it all makes sense on why. Anyways, he got another retail theft to transfer merchandise from counter or con something. I don't know what that means. He pled guilty. The guilty plea was negotiated, and he ended up with 15 months probation with the above charge from going to be April 28, 2014. Same charge, retail theft, taking merchandise, which was a felony. And that guilty plea was negotiated. So 15 months probation, all of that out of Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. We skip ahead over 3 years to July 1st, 2017. He was arrested for disorderly conduct, hazardous physical offense, ×2, which was a statutory offense, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. He was found guilty on 11/13/2017 to one count they changed it to a move to a non-traffic count, which he pled guilty for, and I could not find a probation or find a sentence for that. So now, again, almost behaves for 3 years. We're into May 1st, 2020. He was arrested in Allegheny County. All of these are Allegheny County again in Pennsylvania. Possession of controlled substance by a person not registered, whatever that meant. Right? Maybe if you register in Pennsylvania, you can possess a controlled substance. That's a misdemeanor. He pled guilty and was given 9 months probation. Possession of marijuana, which was a misdemeanor. He pled guilty, and there was no further penalty on that charge. And we have a use or possession of drug paraphernalia, a misdemeanor. He pled guilty and was given 90 days probation. And then we have a driving with license suspended, revoked pursuant to Section 3802, which was a statutory offense. He pled guilty and was given 60 days probation on that charge. Now we go ahead and on May 3rd, 2020, just 2 days later, disorderly conduct, hazardous physical offense ×2 out of Allegheny County. He pled guilty, and his sentence to that ran with the sentence from the probation all down below. We go ahead to almost 2 years, to February 15th, 2022. He was arrested for harassment, subject other to physical contact, which was a statutory offense out of Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. And I got no disposition on that. I can't find it at all. The charge is there, but there's no disposition. Another case that fell through the cracks for him. And then on April 26, 2023, 14 months later, he's arrested for criminal trespass, enter a structure, a felony out of Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania. Defendant trespassed actual communication to, which means they told him to leave, he refused to leave, and that was a misdemeanor charge out of Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania, and a disorderly conduct engaged in fighting charge, which was a statutory offense out of Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania. He was charged over a month later on May 31st, 2023. It was waived for court. The case was transferred to Court of Common Pleas, and his next court date was on 12/13/2023. I probably should have went and looked that up to see what happened to him on that day. Maybe I'll take a quick look at it before I post this video, and I'll put it down underneath in writing or something there, what happened to him on that court date. And the last one charge that I can find for him is on 5/9/2023, disorderly conduct, obscene language or gesture ×2. It's a statutory offense out of Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. He pled guilty on 8/21/23. I can't find a disposition on that charge. and a charge of resisting arrest or other law enforcement officer was a misdemeanor. Allegheny County, they withdrew that charge for him to plead to the other charge there. So that shows you all of that. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the incredible criminal history of East Coast Audits, Nicholas Ralph Francis Conley. It's quite an amazing criminal career, don't you think? Well, it's too early to try to change the past, Nicky, or try and hide it. All you can do is change yourself moving forward and stop being the a-hole that you are. Learn the law on First Amendments, Nicky, and the restrictions placed on it by the Supreme Court of the United States. Stop using the First Amendment as an excuse to be a fucktard to the police, because I already know this has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with the First Amendment for you. You're not even making any money at it, mister. The only reason you're doing this is to try to get revenge on the police and the criminal justice system for holding you accountable for your actions all these years. So privacy strike that, Nicky. So thank you all for stopping by and watching this video. It's like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's an update video on East Coast Audits, Nicholas Conley, the coward that he is. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video and that it tickled your fancy. Please remember to back the blue. Thank your local law enforcement for the tough job that they do every day. And until next time, y'all take care.